Hi everyone, so the title of my talk is What Happens When You Don't Eat for 7 days? So can anyone tell me, what do you think happens to your body when you don't eat for 7 days? Obvious, yeah, probably cry. Well, firstly, you definitely lose weight, so your body needs to start burning energy to stay alive. And I don't know if anyone can guess where this weight is coming from. Fat, yeah, that's literally its job. So your body will start breaking down its fat stores to produce energy. So there's another tissue that you'll lose weight from that you might not want to lose weight from. Muscle, exactly. So over 7 days, the body will actually lose more lean mass and fat mass, which is a bit scary. So both these tissues are clearly very impacted by fasting, yet the changes occurring at a molecular level to adapt these tissues to fasting are not well characterized in humans. And it's important we understand these molecular changes, because if we understand the genetic and protein pathways that drive these tissues' adaptation to fasting, then potentially we could target therapeutically those pathways to, say, try and improve fat loss or prevent lean mass loss in humans. So that's why in this study we took samples from 12 volunteers who had undergone a 0-calorie fast for 7 days. Fat sample was taken from their abdomen and a small muscle sample from their calf, as well as blood samples throughout the course of the 7 days. And then in the lab we isolated the RNA and proteins from these tissues in order to map what's changing across these thousands of gene products and proteins. And when we analysed all this data, we found that thousands of genes are being upregulated or downregulated during fasting in both the fat and the muscle, as represented by this heat map. Now, this doesn't make much sense on its own, but when we group these genes based on their function into biological pathways, then we start to see some interesting biological changes in these tissues. Now, some are expected, such as we see downregulation of loads of metabolic pathways, which might make sense because you want your body to start conserving energy when you're not going to have any food. There's some less obvious pathways that we see, for example, upregulation of genes involved in inflammation in both the fat and the muscle, so this general pro-inflammatory response, as well as upregulation of genes involved in antioxidant activity, and that could be to help protect these tissues from the stress of having to break down all this fat and protein. And in the blood, we looked at all the proteins changing, and there are a lot of proteins going up and down during the course of the fast. And I've just put up this graph here for an example, this protein called CC085. And you can see in all the subjects over the course of the 7 days, it goes down quite dramatically in the blood. But we have no idea what this protein does in humans. It doesn't even have a proper name. But yeah, it could potentially be an important adaptation to fasting. So we're currently following up some of these most interesting changes, such as investigating, does this CC085 have a role in human metabolism, or do some of the top changing genes and proteins, are they important in the adaptation? We also see that some of the genes that are changing in the fat and muscle may be impacting what ends up in the circulation. So overall, this study has improved our understanding of how the human body adapts to a prolonged fast, and hopefully this data set will be a valuable resource to researchers. And as I watch this space to see what new discoveries come from this study, because I'm sure they'll be really exciting. Thank you.